on, guys? Today's question is, are fruit bowls better than clay bowls when smoking hookah? I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do a step-by-step in making a pineapple fruit bowl, and we'll go from there. As always, leave your comments in the box below and let me know what you think and any opinions that you might have. Later. Okay, so the tools needed for this easy project is a fruit of your choice. Today I'll be doing the pineapple. A spoon so that you can carve out the interior, a knife to cut it open, and a drill. That way I have an easier time getting through the core so that I can set it on top of my hookah. But you can use a hammer and a screwdriver. That's the old technique that I used to use, and it took a really long time, so I upgraded to a drill. Now I'm using a 1/2-inch drill bit because it's about the size of my pinky, and that's the best size for when you want a good snug fit onto the top of your hookah. So let's begin. The first step is you're going to want to cut approximately 2-3 inches, however you see fit, from the top, so that way you can have the ability to be able to carve out the middle. So just put it on its side. I'm doing about 2.5 inches, so I have room to play with on the bottom. I'm just going to cut through it. Of course, it's going to be a hard time. Now you want to try to get it as flat as possible. As you can see, that is pretty darn good. And the reason for that is when you're setting your coals in aluminum foil on top, you don't want it to be all like crooked like this, or it's like you're just going to have a hard time with the coals. So cut it even, and as you can see from here, we're going to be able to carve out the interior where you're going to put the hookah tobacco at, the shisha. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to carve an outline and the shape of a circle, a smaller circle. I'm going to leave about 1.5 inches from the sides. That way, when I put the coals on top, it's not going to pretty much melt the fruit, and then my coals are going to fall off. So I try to leave a lot of play on the sides. But let me go ahead and cut this. I'm going about 2 inches into the pineapple, so 2 inches deep. And as you can see, I carved out my circle. That's where I'm going to put my spoon in and just start carving my bowl out. So now we're just going to take the spoon, dig into our 2 inches. Just kind of work your way around like I'm doing. And it's going to get really messy, so I'm going to start doing this over the sink. It's going to be kind of blocking your view, so I apologize. So as you can see, I carved out about 2 inches for my bowl, and you can see it's flush, and I left 1.5 to 1 inch around the sides, so that when I put the aluminum foil over, it's going to be really sturdy once the bowl starts to heat up. So now my next step is to take the drill bit, and I'm going to drill straight through the bottom in the middle, and I'm going to drill until I see it come up through the top. So I'm going to place it face down. I'm going to dig in my bit. And it's about to come through, so and then you're going to want to do it in reverse and go through the top to the bottom. Then you pick off the excess at the bottom, and voila, you have your perfect hole for your base. So the next step for a more custom feel to the hookah bowl, I'm going to be carving out the same thing I did to the bowl, the base of it. I'm going to be doing the top so that I can actually use this as a wind cover if I wanted to, and I can put it over and have the coals on there. Now I'm going to carve it out pretty much next to the skin so that I have a lot of room to play with, and I'm going to make some holes in it. Now as you can see, I carved an inner circle and an outer circle, about a 1/2 inch on the outside, and then right in the center, because it gets really hard to start scooping this stuff out once you get to the end product. And as you can see, I hollowed it out with the spoon. And I put water in it so that the juices aren't going to be falling onto my coals and putting them out. I'm going to let this sit out and dry out, of course. Now, for those of you who are going to use bigger coals, like the giant wood coals, you might want to cut it halfway and then make this deeper. I'm breaking up my coals. I use wood coals and I'm breaking them up, so they're going to be relatively small. And as you can see, looks like a normal pineapple. And once you put it on your hookah, this is what it's going to look like. I'm going to make the relief hole. Now when you're packing the tobacco, just lightly place it over because you don't want it to fall through the hole. And if you feather it in like so, it'll just lightly go over the hole. You won't have to worry about anything going into it. And I decided I'm just going to use straight mint because that's always good. But I'll give you a close-up of this once I'm done feathering it in. Now, the pineapple is going to be a lot cooler than obviously a clay bowl, so I'm going to need a lot more heat, which is why I'm going to use the top of that for a wing cover, which is also going to double up in increasing heat. So just keep a note to yourself that when you're using fruit bowls, you're going to need more heat. And the fruit bowls do have the juices in it, so it's going to combine with the molasses, and it's going to give it a really good flavor. So pretty much I'm going to have pineapple mint. But as you can see, it's almost flush. I got it about 1/4 of an inch from the top. That way my hookah coals aren't directly burning it. And I'm going to blow through the bottom so to make sure that nothing got stuck through. Just evening it out. I'm going to put the aluminum foil on and I am ready to go. I'm going to be using 2 layers of tin foil, and you always want to make sure you put it shiny side down to retain the heat inside the bowl, especially since we are not going to have the clay to be heating up our tobacco. You just want to work your way around it, kind of like you're making a top for a drum. Make it nice and tight. Obviously it's not going to be a perfect fit. I'm going to do 2 layers, repeat the same step that I just did now. I'm using regular Walmart foil, so you don't need to go out and buy like hookah tin foil. It's just regular tin foil. Another very important thing is make sure that you take the grommet off the top of the hookah, or else you're going to have a hard time getting your fruit bowls on there. Now that in certain scenarios, if you made the hole too wide or something, then definitely go ahead and leave the grommet on, but if not, leave the grommet off. That way, you can have a very nice, snug fit. So that way, it doesn't move around. And it has a very nice pull to it. And as you can see, it's very sturdy. So we are going to be able to put the coals on and get ready to smoke. What's going on, guys? So I got 3 coals on top. Let's see how it works out. I've been heating them up, so the bowl's pretty much heated now, so let's see how it goes. Put my handy dandy little wing cover on. So I would like to thank you guys for watching the video, and I know normally Argue the Point style is I answer the question that I initially asked with the video, and this is more directed towards a tutorial for how to make a fruit bowl. Now, when it comes to the question, are fruit bowls better than clay bowls? Yes, fruit bowls are way better, hands down, way better than clay bowls for 2 reasons. One, they're adding juices to the mix, so you're getting more enhanced flavor, and additionally, you have less heat in the bowl. It's just the heat's coming directly from coals, so you're not having to worry about overheating or burning your tobacco like a clay bowl. You put too many coals, you burn the tobacco because of all that heat that's inside. It's all just being retained in there with the clay bowl. That's not the case with the fruit bowl. Fruit bowl is always constantly being cold on the bottom and all your heat's coming from the top. So final answer, yes, fruit bowls are way better than clay bowls. Now if you guys have any questions you want me to shoot a video and try to answer them about, feel free to throw them in the comments box below. And I look forward to hearing your comments and responses, so take it easy guys.